Hello and welcome to the first ever LTV broadcast of Leominster High School women's tennis. My name is Bradley Bedard. I'll be your host today, your commentator, play-by-play, color, cameraman, editor, you name it. Today we have a match between second singles Leominster High School versus Wachusett. Leominster High School senior Majah Burns will be taking on Wachusett High School Lama Shemaisen. As their courts get cleared off by the Wachusett coach, we thank him for doing that, to let them play in front of our cameras. As I said, my name is Bradley Bedard. Some of you may recognize that name from just about every Leominster TV sports broadcast in the past 5 or so years. I have worked camera and directed games alongside the likes of commentator Todd Robbins, the voice of the Blue Devils, his sidekick and wife, Kate Robbins, and their partner in crime, Bill Thomas. I've worked football games and basketball games with them throughout the years. I have also worked alongside the voice of Leominster High School baseball, Ray Richard, as well as his partner, Jeff Sylvia. And I also covered hockey with Ray Richard. And none of these things qualify me to commentate sports broadcasts, but here I am. Coach Daryl Robichaud of Leominster High School women's tennis reached out to me earlier this spring to see if we'd be up for broadcasting a little bit of his tennis team, as he's proudly led them to accomplish a lot of great things over the past few years. And I told him to find me a commentator so that there would be something to listen to besides the near silence of tennis matches, which don't play music between rallies. And here I am, because I then offered to commentate for him. I played a bit of tennis over my high school career for Coach Powelski of boys tennis. Played from freshman year all the way up to senior year. Like to think I did fairly well. And again, this does not qualify me to commentate, but I'm going to do my best to help analyze and verbalize what's going on over the course of the match today. So as they get warmed up, I will leave you be and rejoin you once they begin their match. Be right back. So it looks as though we are beginning the match between Leominster's Majah Burns and Wachusett's Lama Shemaisen. Shemaisen serves. Starting off with a fairly easy rally, sort of feeling each other out, trying to get the hang of how each other play. Meja with a good call there, letting the ball go long. Ooh, Meja just short into the net. Doing well there for a while, sending every other shot towards the back and then towards the front, keeping Shemaisen on her toes. And that's a little bit of what Coach Robichaud asked her to do, was to really challenge her opponent, make her opponent move. That's what he's been trying to teach her over the past few years that he's had her on the team. Also would like her to play towards the net as she gets the opportunity, as her opponent drops short balls onto the court. And there she is. Unfortunate play. She did what Coach Robichaud asked her to do, which is play the net. And Lama really played that well, right over her head to the back of the court. Shemaisen says that was good. And it's deuce, if I've kept track correctly. Meja again. Forcing the opponent to play the court. Sending shots in the complete opposite direction. To see what that was called. It's a point for Shemaisen. A fault and a reserve coming up. Meja may now be a little bit wary of playing the net because she knows Lama is not going to give her an easy time playing up. And that's a point for Lama. And that appears to be game for Shemaisen. So in between matches, I'll try and get in a little bit of information about the competitors, particularly Leominster. First, though, I should mention that pole you see on the left side of the court. That's how the players keep track of who's winning how many games. Unfortunately, it's, I believe, facing, it's backwards to us, which we can work it out, but it will be a little bit difficult for me to see, so I'll have to do my best to keep up on my own. Looked like a point for Meja, but I'm not 100% sure. We'll have to wait for the next serve. Meja with a great low return, just nicks the net and drops too low for Wachusett to get it. So it's 30 love, Meja. Should be 40. Meja, again, just really doing well at forcing her opponent to run. Sent her opponent way back behind the court off camera. Opponent successfully returned. And then gave her a low shot and forced her to return that. Opponent managed to, but Meja really seems to be successfully taking the energy away from her opponent. We'll see how long her opponent lasts with Meja playing that well. A nice rally going on right now. Nice long rally. Meja really playing her strength of making her opponent run. And succeeds there. Really is a great strategy by Meja. Making the opponent run in this weather, 80 degrees out, the courts could easily be 10 degrees hotter than that, if not more. And when one player is running all over and the other one fairly still, you know, you really see a difference in their play in the late game. If Meja can keep this up, that will play in her favor. Wachusett, though, historically talented teams. In my time playing tennis, for the men's team anyway, a lot of talent up there. And as Meja secures that game, players will switch sides. Meja up 2-1 in games. As I said, Meja is a senior this year. Graduation's right around the corner in about a week and a half. So she must be enjoying these last few games, last few days of school. Coach Robichaud says she's heading off to Worcester State in the fall to study psychology. I wish her the best up there. Meja with a good return, had to run all the way into the doubles to return that, and it paid off as her opponent sent one into the net. I missed the call on that. It looked like it was just in. But we'll wait for the call by Meja. Was it? Fault by Meja. These volleys backing up both opponents fairly deep in their own courts, for the most part. Meja with a nice return, and Wachusett hits another one into the net for points for Meja. Wachusett with a great hit short. Meja runs for it. Now she plays the net. And just long by the opponent. Meja secures some more points. Should be game for Leominster. Wachusett to serve. Meja displaying a really solid, classic two-handed backhand. Just seems very confident with it. Has no trouble sending it to the back, very back corner of Wachusett's court. Again, just making her opponent run all over. Great, great rally by Meja. forcing her opponent to make the mistakes. Meja just really solid play, nothing flashy. Just very solid returns. If she's not sure at the net, she really does a good job of deciding whether she should be up there or not. Tends to stay back, but not afraid to play the net when she thinks it'll give her the advantage. Great return by Meja. Oh, and just wide on that last one. I may have missed a point in between those two rallies. Nope. Point for Wachusett. Coach Robichaud tells me a few of Meja's strong points are her stamina, which should pay dividends in this match as she tries to outlast her opponent, forcing her opponent to run all over the court, as well as her ground strokes and her mental toughness. Saying that she has the ability to not let the state of the match get to her head and really play through everything. He told me about one match in particular. It was actually, I believe, her last match, her previous match against Groton Dunstable, where she was down in the first match 2-4. And came back to win it 6-4. So really does not let a poor position dictate how she does the rest of the match. And that should be the game. It looks like it is as her opponent approaches the net. One more from Meja. Should be 4-1. And Meja playing great so far. As I said, Wachusett, formidable opponent. And really just essentially forcing her opponent to run all around the court. And in this weather, that's not something most people can keep up throughout 2, if not 3 matches. Excuse me, sets. Meja with just a little bit of an angled return. She caught the ball just on its bounce up from the ground and didn't quite have her racket in position as it hit, so it was wide or point for Wachusett. Looked like a good return by Wachusett for a point. And Wachusett then sends one into the net for a point for Meja. Coach Robichaud tells me he switches first and second singles players, Meja Burns and Sophia Hess, between the two positions. So they get to experience, they both get to experience the best competition in their opponents. Meja playing second singles today, though we have no first singles to our right. That was moved down to the left-hand courts to avoid all the brush and fallen leaves that have landed on the usual first singles court. That call was deuce. And this should be ad if Wachusett just hit it into the net. It is ad. Meja takes that game. So Meja in the lead, 5-1. Needs one more to take this set. Shemaisen long to the back of the court for a point for Meja. Looked like a good shot by Meja, just nicking the net so that Shemaisen couldn't get to it. Should be 30 love. Excuse me, love 30 as Shemaisen serves. Meja returning one into the net. Score for Wachusett, 15-30. Shemaisen, despite being point for Leominster. Shemaisen, despite being down 5-1, really no sign of letting it get to her. She's returning as consistently as ever. Just every once in a while sending a ball slightly shorter, slightly long. Meja just very consistent in her returns. Essentially playing the wall, or playing as the wall, rather. As I said, forcing Lama Shemaisen to make the mistakes as Meja takes that game and that match. Excuse me, that set. It probably won't be the last time I make that mistake today. Meja takes a quick water break. The Leominster Champion did an article on last year's LHS women's tennis team and all the work that Coach Robichaud has been doing to support them and really bring them to the level they play at today. As Burns and Shemaisen start their second set. Meja takes the first points. And in that article, Coach Robichaud said of Meja, she's really starting to develop a little more of a power game than she has had in the past. She's shown the ability to move her opponent around the court. And it's quite obvious after today what he's talking about, and really paying off so far. I unfortunately haven't been able to make as many matches as I had hoped to this year. Combination of weather and scheduling issues have made this the first match I've been able to cover. But just seeing this match, it's really evident how accurate that quote is. Coach, of course, knows his girls very well. They're here almost every weekday, whether they are playing a game here or practicing or are away at a match. Like a point for Shemaisen. And I believe I missed one. I did. So that's 30 all as Meja serves. And Shemaisen sends one into the net for a point for Meja. In talking with Coach Robichaud, it's clear he's incredibly proud of the progress all the girls have made over the course of their high school tennis careers. Meja takes that game. He mentioned that many of them have never played tennis competitively before high school. And again, he's just very proud of how far they've come. as Meja and her opponent go to talk to their coaches. Let's take a look at, if I can, all the other matches going on today. So in addition to Meja at second singles, we have Sophia Hess at first singles over on the third court, playing against Grace Bennett of Wachusett. We have at third singles, Julia Diamikis playing against Sabrina Zhao. Down on, looks like the fourth court, but I can't actually see, but at first doubles, we have Madeline or Maddie Worthington Grimm and Callie Warnham playing against Wachusett's Eleanor Lazar and Katie Skagerland. As well as second doubles, Rebecca Hess, Leominster's Rebecca Hess, and Lucia Revitria playing against Anna Baez and Spencer Cruz Brown. Head back to the second singles court to make sure we don't miss anything. Looks like Wachusett is taking the opportunity to speak with her coach. Her coach is. So our three captains for the Leominster High School women's tennis team: Meja Burns, Callie Warnham, and Nadia John. Here's what Coach Robichaud had to say about them in the Champion article last year. He says, all three are mature, even though they're only juniors. Probably a third of the team has played little or no tennis up to this point. All the new girls remarked about how collegial and helpful the group was, and just the culture of the team. That is a credit to the captains that set a positive tone for the team. They are helpful with all the young players, moving them along, and they are patient with them. That helps foster a positive team culture, and that's really evident when talking to Coach and the players. So, kudos to Coach Robichaud for that. Unfortunately, I can't get more information as to what's going on at the moment, as I'm sitting on the opposite side of the courts from the majority of the team and coach in Leominster TV's production truck. So everything that you see is all I can see and hear. Getting some information from Coach saying that the girl from Wachusett has retired. Not exactly sure what that means, if she was injured or not feeling well. But we'll see if we can find another match to cover today. I'll go work on that and be right back with you. Hang tight. So we're going to go ahead and join the first doubles match in progress. over there on court 4. That's the second court from the right, center screen. Playing, we have Madeline or Maddie Worthington Grimm, Callie Warnham from Leominster, and from Wachusett we have Eleanor Lazar and Katie Skagerland. And I will try and get you the score as soon as I can. Leominster serves. Fault. Second serve upcoming. Wachusett hitting her return at the front Leominster player, apologizing, but it is still Wachusett point. Leominster with a nice short return out of the reach of Wachusett for their own point. First of this game. Leominster with a long serve. She'll reserve. Second serve is good, and the return is long. Point for Leominster. Looked like a good return from Wachusett, so we'll give them the points. Long from Wachusett, points for Leominster. Callie is a fourth-year player, therefore she's a senior at Leominster High School. She plans on attending Roger Williams University for marine biology and hopes to continue playing tennis there. Looks like a point for Wachusett, making it deuce. Maddie is also a senior in her fourth year playing tennis. Ooh, good return by Wachusett to get the advantage. And Maddie plans to attend UMass Lowell in the fall for nutritional sciences. Good return by Leominster to reclaim the deuce. Coach called Callie and Maddie the heart and soul of the 2018 team, saying they've won the most points for the team each of the past 2 seasons. Since taking over the #1 doubles position as sophomores, they've provided a high level of consistency and professionalism both on the court and in the classroom. And he notes how difficult it'll be to replace them on the courts next year. Callie and Maddie have a record of 6-2. That's as of last week. Unfortunately, I have yet to get updated records for them as of this week. But they have competed in, I believe, 10 matches. So we'll get those to you as soon as we can. Last season, 2017, when they were juniors, they competed in 5 matches with a 3-2 overall record. And back in 2016, as sophomores, they competed in 6 matches with a 2-4 overall record. So, very clear improvement over the past 4 years for both girls. Wachusett serves it long. Leominster with a long return, giving points up to Wachusett. Coach says Callie is good at lateral movement as well as having a high tennis IQ, as he calls it. Wachusett serves it long. Leominster with a great return just in. About as far right on the court as you could get. Coach also says Callie is always moving in the right direction. And she's been working on developing more shots for her repertoire. Looks like a point for Wachusett. Nice. Strong serve by Wachusett. I could not tell if that was in or out on the Wachusett end of the court. Coach says Maddie plays, quote, big on the court. She uses her length to control net play. She also has good court vision. Height, of course, always helps in tennis. Gives you a larger area to serve in, as well as a higher blocking area at the net. And sometimes it even gives you an advantage at reaching for wide balls that would otherwise be out of other players' reach. That appeared to be the first point of this game for Wachusett as Leominster serves. Leominster with a good return to tie it up at 15. Just wide of the court by Wachusett for a point for Leominster. That was a good example of Maddie playing to her strengths at the net, blocking that high shot before it had a chance to land in her court. And that was looked like a point for Leominster. Good shot by Wachusett. Wachusett to serve. Wachusett playing very well right up at the net, not letting any of those Leominster shots get through as they secure a point. Just shy and into the net, allowing Leominster points. Ooh. Just a little mishandled. The racket in hand by Leominster. Just didn't quite have it ready for that return. Leominster ties it up, 30 all. Now 40-30, Wachusett serves. Just long from Leominster for the game and what looks like the match. Leominster coming up short in the first doubles match today against Wachusett. Played very well, but up against just a wall at the net and some otherwise solid offense from Wachusett. As I said earlier, weather has not been our friend this year. We had a number of postponements, match postponements, due to the weather, including just yesterday. So just in case we don't get to cover another match this season before the school year comes to a close, I'd just like to recognize the rest of the seniors on the Leominster women's tennis team. As I said, Sophia Hess at first singles today. She switches between first and second singles with Meja Burns. Sophia attending Roger Williams University, majoring in graphic design next fall. Meja at second singles, attending Worcester State University, majoring in psychology. First doubles pair, Callie Warnham, attending Roger Williams University for marine biology. and Maddie Worthington Grimm, attending UMass Lowell for Nutritional Sciences. At second doubles, we have Nadia John, attending UMass Lowell for Public Health Sciences, and her partner Rebecca Hess, attending Fitchburg State University for Political Science. So we wish all those seniors the best of luck. Oh, and can't forget the reserve players, seniors. Doubles player Emma Barnaby, attending Fitchburg State University for history. Doubles player Jesse Blackman, attending Brandeis University for a double major in environmental science and chemistry with a minor in Spanish. As well as doubles player Sarah Ramram. Apologies if I'm pronouncing that name wrong. And doubles player Lucia Revitria, attending Worcester State University for nursing. So we wish them the best of luck next year. So this looks like the end of our broadcast today. We got to see parts of 2 matches, our second singles and our first doubles. Meja Burns was on top of Wachusett's Lama Shemaisen, 1-0 before Shemaisen retired. And I'll have to catch up with Coach to find out what the results of the game of Callie Warnham and Maddie Worthington Grimm, how that ended. So again, my name is Bradley Bedard. It's been my pleasure commentating on this gorgeous, warm but gorgeous spring day, May 23rd. And hope to do this at least one more time before the end of the season. So we thank you all for watching. Hope to see you again. And enjoy the rest of your day.